Some buildings don't just hold memories, they hold on to them. 5 real places, still standing today, where the people who worked, lived, or visited never quite agreed on what they felt watching them from the dark. Colorado, 1909. The Stanley Hotel opened as a mountain retreat for the wealthy. Elegant, remote, and according to generations of guests and staff since, never quite empty, even when the rooms are. Guests report a piano playing itself in the empty ballroom at night. Room 217 has a long history of unexplained footsteps and lights switching on alone. It was a stay in that very room that gave Stephen King the idea for a novel about a haunted hotel, a story that would go on to terrify millions. The hotel doesn't hide from the reputation. It leans into it, offering ghost tours to guests curious enough to spend a night finding out for themselves. In the Venetian lagoon sits a small island that Italy has, at various points, used as a quarantine station for plague victims, and later a mental asylum. Locals have long called it one of the most haunted places on Earth, and refused, for decades, to set foot on it at all. Historical records suggest tens of thousands of plague victims may have been buried or burned on the island's grounds over the centuries. Later, patients at the asylum reported being tormented by ghosts of the dead still buried beneath their feet. The island remains largely abandoned today. Italy has restricted general access for years, and few who study its history seem eager to change that. California, late 1800s. Sarah Winchester, heir to the Winchester rifle fortune, began building a mansion that would never stop growing. Additions ordered constantly for nearly 4 decades, with no master plan at all. The result is a house with staircases leading nowhere, doors opening into walls, and windows built into floors. Some believe Sarah was haunted by the ghosts of everyone ever killed by a Winchester rifle, and built endlessly to confuse them, keeping the spirits forever lost in her maze. Whether or not the ghosts are real, the house itself still manages to disorient every visitor who walks through it. Singapore. During World War II, this hospital and the surrounding site were used by occupying forces as a prisoner of war camp, and later, an interrogation site linked to widespread suffering and death. After the war, the hospital reopened, then closed permanently decades later. But visitors and urban explorers have long reported disembodied screaming, cold spots, and shadows moving through hallways that should be completely empty. It remains one of the most feared abandoned sites in Southeast Asia, sealed off, decaying, and according to those who've gone anyway, never entirely silent. Beneath the streets of Paris lie the remains of over 6 million people, relocated centuries ago from overflowing cemeteries into a vast underground ossuary that now stretches for miles beneath the city. Visitors and staff alike have long reported the sound of footsteps in empty side passages, sudden temperature drops, and more than once, cameras and flashlights failing the moment someone strays too far from the marked tourist path. Millions of people walk through it every year. Only a small fraction of the tunnels are open to the public. What's down the rest of them, no one still living has fully mapped. 5 places, still standing, still visited, still, according to the people who know them best, never quite empty. This has been Eerie Files. If one of these is closer to home than you'd like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next file.